All right, Hero Comics here. Next was Hero Comics transgender hate mail, homosexual hate mail, atheist hate mail. Basically, me reacting to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube, DeviantArt, that are response comments. I'm against these deviant lifestyles and a few other things. Trigger warning. If you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead and click off the video and go watch something else. Do not lie and say there's hate speech in my videos because there is no hate speech in my videos. Speech you hate is a story. Let's continue on with these. If people get things wrong with the comics system, we try to share out with versus basic biology, and in this case, the Suicide Squad and other stuff like that. Actual facts you can look up, stuff you can look up online to see that I'm telling the truth. That WB wants to demo down live service games. WB Incorporated always makes crappy games like this. Stephanie Hill, Jamie Walker do not have never made a crappy game like this, and still have not. Let's continue on here. So I don't know if we over that, but it's just important to do it so we don't miss anything. And I say, accusations like this from a Sweet Baby Control studio have we have investigated ourselves and have found no wrong energy. Just wait. I'll bet 100 Star Studios games will be as good or even better than the old Batman Arkham games. I got this emoji. Then I say, yeah, that's why they said they wanted to double down on live service games. Yeah, WB said they wanted to double down on live service games. But yeah, they did not make a game that is basically greenlit by them. A live service game. Yeah, they did. Also, watch Sweet Baby. Sweet Baby once they had their website up, and they had Suicide Squad just like proudly displayed on their website as one of the games they worked on. So, yeah, when the game failed miserably and lost over $200 million, they're like, yeah, let me just remove that. What? We didn't make that game. The founders of Rocksteady made that game. With our names in the credits. Yep. Nope. Doesn't work. And then I quote somebody, what's the point? What was the point? And I say, to hate on the Justice League because they are mean white men who stop criminals from doing crime. Tear in the eye emoji. Screw this game, story, and Sweet Baby. And that's some other reason I put a party favor thing blowing out confetti. Someone liked it. That's nice. Let's see here. I say they can make a Justice League game with Suicide Squad assets. It would be awesome. Imagine running around like Boomerang as Flash, or flying around as Superman as Green Lantern. Superman or Green Lantern, or swinging out on a Batman, or Batman, or other members of the Bat family. They could salvage the good parts of this game to make a better one. They should do it now. Angry face emoji. I look forward to when they do. And then someone said, don't let Jimmy and Skepton cook again. Don't let Sweet Baby cook again. They have killed enough studios. Angry face emoji. Then I say something else, quote, I basically have a 1 hour, 31 minutes and 36 seconds. I say, I do. Sweet Baby's story sucks. And WB wanting to be a live service game to get to Fortnite money sucks. We're out of here. What do they say? Stephen Hill and what does they say? Very pretty much. What does Stephen Hill and Jimmy Parker say to me about this stuff? Does anyone know what they said about this type of stuff? What were they thinking when they left? And I say probably. I said I do. See, maybe story sucks. And WB wanted it to be a live service game to get that Fortnite money sucks. We're out of here. Angry face emoji. And so it says, you shouldn't miss guns. Your death strokes. You shouldn't miss guns. Your death stroke. Tear in the eye emoji. So it says it's finally over. Don't cry because it happened. Smile because it's over. I liked it, of course. This is like Hate Mail Part 56. So I'm going to understand that Batman planned a one woman dying in the hands of an evil Superman clone so he could punch Brainiac in the face. And so it says, yep, the plan also included Robin being either killed, kidnapped, or hospitalized. We don't know which because, of course, these writers forgot to answer that plotline. This whole game is such a mess. It's not canon. I don't care what anyone says. It's so bad. And when people are in charge, I don't care. Why should I care? It's just someone else. And I say, his plan was to punch Brainiac, but they were so weak and dumb in this game that they got captured and cloned. Except Wonder Woman. I guess it's like that. Man emoji. So it says, here comes, Deathstroke, who's weaker than Batman, beats multiple Brainiacs by himself. F this game. It's not canon. 4 likes. I should have liked 2. And then someone says, yep, this was a rewrite after people didn't like it. Like Rocksteady assumed they would. The problem is when they still do things they can't walk back with. It's an excuse for an ending. Thumbs up. So it says, here comes, Batman saying this cut scene that the Suicide Squad did well following his plan. That applies to either the League was intentionally captured or that they were in hiding while using the Suicide Squad to get close to Brainiac. Either way, it doesn't make sense and means that he, at least best, caused one woman's death through his bad plan. And so it says, also the story and dialogue doesn't make any sense if this the Leaguer were being cloned. Anyway, and I said, true, Batman had a bad plan because it was written badly. I'll bet Stephanie and friends did write the story. Batman did not go to the skull ship, so he did not get captured and cloned. It was actually one of the playable characters you would use to say Justice League or Brainiac. But he had to sleep baby, Ghost, Red Ghost, with kind of angry eye emojis. That's definitely one of the newer emojis there. And like I said, also, the old IPs get ruined. We'll just have to find new ones. So let's just like pick one. Yeah, one of the saddest things ever. Captain Boomerang with a gun, and the stats for the gun. All the work that went into the game, most of the work that went into the game was for the stats for these guns. What was this? Eagle Bunsen Burner, Legendary, LexCorp Sniper Rifle, Quick Compare Attack, 2 triangles, Protection 0, Healing 0. There's healing. What the protection? What the heck? DPS 3,630. Heart. Let's see here. Damage per hit 5,019 to 5,331. Critical hit damage 283%. What? That's a problem with that percentage. You can only go 100%. What's going on here? You can only go 100%. Why is it 283%? What is that? Capacity 21 before reloading, which you don't have to really worry about. You kill enemies, you get more bullets or something. It's weird. Rate of fire 300. 300 what? Someone said. Then you have 7% ammo reserve capacity, 23 critical hit damage from this firearm, 50% damage to crazed enemies with this firearm. Successful critical reloads have a 100% chance to instantly burn the next enemy hit. What kind of weird guns are these? I think, again, I think there was just too many cooks in the kitchen on this. If, say, you had nameless, faceless soldiers that you could customize instead of the Suicide Squad, that would have been cool. Way better than this. If you had characters with DC characters with unique weapons, that would have been really cool. But if you wanted stuff like this, you should have had characters with nameless, faceless soldiers. Then they can get special weapons to make them actually fight. But they did the worst of both worlds. They got characters that we know of, but gave them weapons they don't normally use. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. Continue on, please. Okay, Killer Elite Legendary Amertech. I guess apparently Amertech. SMG. Attack 2 red triangles. Upside down triangles. Protection 0. Healing 1 green, right side up green triangle. DPS 4,453 red triangle. I guess it's lowered attack. Damage per hit 346 to 376. Critical hit damage 85%. Max size 20. Rate of fire 1,080. Amertech improvised military grade weaponry. Hard hitting, controlled spread weapons. Just be careful of the recoil, but recoil didn't seem to matter very much in the game at all. 1% disc ammo gained from critical hits on this firearm. How the heck does that work? That's weird. 6% shield harvest chance. I hate shield harvesting. I hate that. This was in this game. 35% firearm damage when max magazine is above 50. Why? Why should that matter? Every 4 critical hits for this firearm will cause it to instantly reload. How does it do that? It's a gun. This weapon also has a 50% increased critical hit chance. That's so weird. How does a gun automatically reload? How does it do that? Okay, yeah, so that was all the Suicide Squad Kill Justice League stuff right there. I'll see Superman from the James Gunn Superman getting about to get a can thrown in his head by a crowd of angry people. Yeah, okay, you have the Superman-like guy and the online hero creator. So you can make an online. This is online Hero Forge. It's called. This is an online game you could find that you can make superheroes with. You know, imagine what we could do if we make it.